Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. Today's game will feature a team that loves getting it done through the air. The 49ers are top 10 in passing TDs, and they'll go against the Seahawks, who are very aware of what they'll be dealing with. With that, let's hand it over to Brandon Gott and Charles Davis. They've got the call of this Week 12 matchup.
We're about 40 miles south of Candlestick Point as we welcome you inside Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the San Francisco 49ers. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. Tyler Lockett now with a return. Now a play fake here on first down. Well, the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And on this first drive, looks like they want to get that vertical passing game going early.
And they did, and what a warning shot they just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage deep, we're going to attack you all game long. And once you adjust to that and you start to back off, then that opens things up underneath. A really nice start for them. Great way to get the game going.
And this is caught. It's Jimmy Graham. A gain of 6 there on first.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Defense sinking pass. They've got the nickel set out on 3rd and 6. And able to find Graham. Complete. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
On first down, Wilson. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. He was trying to get it to Jermaine Kearse, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Second and 10. It's Wilson again. Surveying the field. Room here to run. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. It'll be a gain of 9, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1. An extra DB for the 49ers now on 3rd. They stay on the ground. This time it's Lacy. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th.
And, partner, in a lot of short yardage situations, you'll see the linebackers step up into the gaps, what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, to make sure they take away all spaces, all creases. That one worked really well for them.
They only needed a yard, instead went backwards. So, of course, they wanted to find the end zone, but when you go on the road and your first drive results in points, I think you're pretty happy.
You have to be, because you've taken it to the home team in this case. And while you may not have shut up the home crowd, you've quieted them down a little bit. Good way to start.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And he hits his target. It's Kenny Stills. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Here we go now. And to give this time to the tailback. He can muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a third and very short. So second down was a run play. Now let's see what they do on third. They'll try and sneak it here. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
There may have been a little bit of an element of surprise there. 3rd and inches, and they go quarterback sneak. I still feel like this is a play that often is reserved for 4th down.
Now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Detroit!
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he stopped immediately there. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Second down following the run.
Detroit! Watch him now, Barney! Detroit!
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
So 3rd and 7 and an extra defensive back on the field here.
Definitely want to play coverage here.
They'll look to throw here. Escaping the pressure right. Looking for Stills here, and it's intercepted. It's the former Stanford Cardinal, Richard Sherman. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe.
When we talk about the best corners in the league, we're usually saying shutdown corners, guys you can't complete passes against. Richard Sherman fits that definition to a T. The best part of his game, no wasted moves. He studies the opponent so well, hard to get a pass on Richard Sherman.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Lacey. And he's brought down. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
When you take a look at Eddie Lacy, you expect the run we just saw, don't you? A battering ram type of an effort.
Absolutely. Such a tough runner in Alabama where he won those national championships, and a tough runner here in the NFL. They go play action here on 1st down. And the Niners get there and bring him down. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out. On 2nd down, here's Wilson. Finding time. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
Let's give some credit to the defensive guys on that play. Able to bat that one away. Sure looked like they were trying to hit the corner route.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. 3rd and long, it's Wilson. He's got Curse. And give him a gain of 37.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
And from the 9-yard line now, it's 1st and goal. They'll run. This is Lacey. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
They'll run it with Lacey. Only a couple yards there, and that's going to set up a long 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
Jimmy Graham, the intended receiver, and it's 4th down.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
And Folk's kick is good. And that will double their lead as it's up to 6. So that scores now on their first 2 possessions, but it's 6-0. Probably not the kind of scores they were hoping for.
No, not at all, but I think that they've shown that they can have some success against this defense. So they'll go back to the sideline knowing the points are going to be there for the taking.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
He got 29 yards that time.
Here we go.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Partner, we're into the 2nd quarter, and I guess you can kind of look at it both ways. The offense, they've got to figure out what they're going to do because they haven't scored any points. But if you're the defense, you're feeling great about what you got going on. The only concern you have, if you get to the half, what adjustments will the offense make to try to defeat you?
And the offense behind the chains here a touch on 2nd and 11. The play clock's running down. They'll look to throw. Flushed out right. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that's going to make it 3rd down and 10.
Yeah, not much there that time, and I think we were both wondering once he got out of the box whether he just throw the ball away and he winds up only picking up a yard or 2.
10 yards to go on 3rd.
Green, 39. Now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Play clock winding down. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He's got time. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Michael Bannon in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel. That's all I paid so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were under pressure, and they got to him again.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Face mask penalty, and Charles, you were a defender. You know sometimes in the heat of the moment, it's hard to keep your hands away from that face mask.
Sometimes you just get out of position as a defender when you're trying to make a tackle, so you end up flailing away, and your hand gets into the wrong spot.
They're going to look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. It's a gain of 9 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and short.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Throwing for his running back, and he's got it complete. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. A great effort there. His 21st touchdown of the season. And the Niners, if they can convert the extra point, they'll grab the lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the three-point
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe. It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete.
14, check.
They go read option with Wilson. Stepping up, he'll try and run. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
Oh, man, that wasn't far from breaking in a big way into the secondary. Read option, quarterback kept it. And while he didn't get a first down, he did get a nice chunk of yardage. Only a nice tackle prevented it from maybe going all the way.
Throwing is Wilson. And he's got Lockett. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. And the offense lining up 1st and 10. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
On 2nd down, Wilson. Complete outright to Kurz. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up 2nd. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Now Wilson on 2nd down. He's got time in the pocket. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there. And it'll bring up 3rd down. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. They come up in an offset eye. 3rd and long. It's Wilson. And he's going to be taken down. Back across midfield, just across midfield at the 49. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. So on 4th down, here's the Canadian-born punter, John Ryan, to kick it away for Seattle. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. And now the 49er offense ready to go and getting back out onto the field. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. Do you think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But
he's got a convoy, and he might be gone. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27. He went over 100 yards a week ago, and with that run, he does it again.
He's an absolute horse, a guy that eats carries. And what I mean by that, the more you hand it to him, the more the production you're going to get. A big-time performer.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Now, whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. the shotgun. He'll look to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. Now the ball comes loose, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned they're down. They're trying to get back into the game.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now Wilson on first down. It's complete to Lockett. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. They'll lock it with a grab over the middle. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. And they thought they could exploit this defense with some really quick hitters, quick action. They worked on that in practice. We just saw it there.
And we saw them break it down to the fundamentals as well. Each position group had their own little work on it. You know, they worked on a drill here with the receivers, a drill there with the quarterbacks. Then they brought it all together.
And actually, Larry, hold that thought. We're right back to the action. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Now a handoff here to his running back. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. And a couple of big boys up front defensively, and in that 4-3, those D tackles so vital.
Extremely vital. I love how you describe that, because if they control things up front, often it's over the guard. Sometimes they slide and make it over the center. It's really hard to get a play started then, because a lot of teams want to start inside out running the football. But against a good 4-3, you may not find any space. And on that play, there was 0 space, no gain.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
The insistence of speed at every position is really seen at the defensive end spot. These guys in the old days were often outside linebackers. They just pushed them forward because they wanted to play fast and get to the quarterback or the running backs quicker than ever before.
Offense working with a 3rd and 13 still left.
4 down, 4 down. Leopard! Leopard! Here we go now. 3-19. No. Check. Patriot! Watch it now, Barney!
They'll need to get the play off quickly. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And he finds Stills, complete. Needed 13, they got 14 on 3rd down.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
They go play action here on 1st down. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he's brought down. It's a gain of 15 that time. And it'll be 1st down 49ers.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And a solid run down inside the 30. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game. 9th
play coming up here on this drive. This is 3rd and a yard. Now a handoff as they run left side. And he gets the 1st down here as he's taken down at the 24. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
3rd and 1, partner. No need to be fancy there. Just use some force and move forward and pick up the 1st down.
Well, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, I think there's a lesson there. Some days you're just having a really tough time, and for the defense, today has been that day. But after that play, what do you learn? You can still make plays even when the other guy's having success against you.
And now for the offense, this is play number 11 here on this drive.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. All right, here we go. 56. Green, 39.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Give him 8 on the play, and it'll be 3rd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
They'll set up to throw. On the left side, this is Stills. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the 1st. It's a gain of 4 there that gives him a new set of downs. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Michael Bennett's versatility, being able to play any position along the defensive front, allows him to make those types of plays. He finds good matchups and gets into the offensive backfield.
And there it works for a tackle for loss. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that's going to lead to a third down. Back now here in Santa Clara. And we've got a dandy here. A 1-point game as we begin the fourth. Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field.
A nickel look by Seattle on third down.
Yep, 5 defensive backs now. Now back to throw. Flush to his right. He may try and run for this. Call it a gain of 3. And that's going to bring up a fourth down.
So this was a case of better safe than sorry. All the receivers were locked up, so he had to try and run for it, but he ended up having to slide short of the marker.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. It's a quarterback sneak. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the first down. And this long drive is going to wind up yielding nothing. Boy, you talk about not playing it safe. Why were they going for it there, Charles?
It's got to be a full evaluation of their team. Do they trust their defense in this situation? Maybe they think they've given all they can in this game and they don't have anything left. Do they not trust that the other team's quarterback is just so hot that no matter where they get the ball, they go downfield? Remember when Bill Belichick went for it in that game, right, against Indianapolis on the road, and everybody said, why'd you go for it there?
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. A big seam, and he might go all the way. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Jermaine Kearse, 96 yards. And the Seahawks have taken the lead here in the fourth. All right, now the Seahawks face a big 2-point conversion attempt. Well, they were back in the shadows of their own goalpost. Oh, no, he lost the football. And he's going to go down. It's a foot race. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. He's at the 40, the 20, 10, 5. And can you believe this? It's 2 points the other way on the fumble return. Boy, that got pretty close to disaster. Going for 2, you cough it up. They almost returned it all the way to the other end for 2 for themselves. You think a lecture on ball security is in order here? Because and it's not just taking care of it, it's what you just talked about. What can result when you don't take care of it? They almost gave up a score. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. Marshall now, the return. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination? Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And a nice carry there of 15 yards. So back-to-back games here of great production. And just, you know, his cuts, they're so quick last week and this week. That comes from confidence, I think. He understands what the defense is trying to do.
But I think he has so much belief in his offensive line that he's just saying, the block's going to be there. I'm not worried about it. And we saw that last week. In fact, they were so good last week on the flight home. I actually plugged in the game and watched the offensive line play one more time. I was so impressed by them. And they're carrying it over to this week. And, of course, when you got a big-time runner behind them, that's a pretty good combination.
Doesn't hurt.
Oftentimes when a guy has a game like this, he's going to take his offensive line out to dinner afterwards. But after a play like that, he may tell them, instead of getting the steaks, guys, we might have to go for the hot dogs.
A nickelback added defensively as they look to stop this 3rd and 8. They'll drop to throw. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. Now he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. It goes for a gain of 10, and it's a first down.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy could be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a first down for them, too.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. Time running out here on the play clock. They'll run it now out of the gun. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
So while the offense has had a big day, no one on that side of the ball is excited about seeing a loss like that. Their goal, to make every play positive. And when you have a bad one like that, your next goal is to not let it spiral into more. It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop. 3rd and 11, 5 in the secondary now.
Nickel look.
Now let's go. Back in Philly. Here we go.
Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. 20. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Keith Marshall, his first touchdown on the year. And the 49ers have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter. And that will make this a 4-point game. Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense.
And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on 1st down on the sack. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Yeah, they've got an extra defensive back out there now on 3rd and 13. 3rd and long. It's Wilson. And down he'll go at the 25. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that's going to make it 4th down. Here's John Ryan now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will come back onto the field for the 1st and 10. The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And the offense here just looking to stay in bounds, complete the short passes, and put this game on ice.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, here we go.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
Here we go. Here we go. 3-19.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's got his man on the crossing route. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. And the defense in desperate need of a stop. They have to get off the field and get the ball back to their offense if they want a chance. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8 that moves the chains. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And they'll run it here. And he is good. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Second down, offense behind the sticks here. 2nd and 13. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends.
Over. All right, here we go. Green, 39.
That one looks like he'll throw here. The throw to the left side, caught by Coleman. A big play there on the catch and run. 32 yards.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody has that ability, they want them on their team.
And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout. That'll be their 2nd, so 1 more chance to stop the clock here, and we'll be back. He'll look to throw. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a 3rd down. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. 7th play of the drive, forthcoming on 3rd and 8. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he finds Stills, complete. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Kenny Stills, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the 49ers add on to their lead.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside at 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. We get a look now at the 49ers defense as they get into position. They were able to force that 3 and out. That led to a touchdown. Defenses obviously love 3 and outs. They want more of that.
They created a very short and not too sweet stint for the offense by getting them off the field that fast, but it set up their own offense, gave them a little spark, and they took it downfield and scored.
Now the question, can they do it again? Let's see. It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And Graham's got it over the middle. The 40. Past the 20. And he gets it down deep into San Francisco territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 68 yards. In the slot on the right is Graham. From the shotgun, Wilson. Surveying the field. This will be caught at about the 6. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. And quickly they get to the line. Now Wilson on second down. Finding time. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
On 3rd and goal, Wilson. He's got time. His pass caught at the 4. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down. So a field goal gets you back within a score, but they're going to go for the bigger chunk here. Kicking team on the sidelines. Offense on for 4th down. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet.
And there's the touchdown that they needed, so they'll celebrate. But the guys on the sidelines, they've got to stay focused. The onside kick team, they need them to get the ball back.
Yeah, part 1 of the equation done. Now they need to convert and get that onside kick. He's back to throw. And unable to connect. They don't get the 2-point conversion here. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field.
And now the 49ers signal for a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And it's the 49ers who recover it, and that ought to just about do it. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though now this one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
That one looks like he'll throw here. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him. Yeah,
it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it'll be a 2nd down. So the offense took the timeout. Looks like they're ready to go as we get set to resume the action. So the offense looking at a 2nd and 8. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. So they pick up the 1st down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set. Now this time he'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. A solid pickup at 13 sets him up 1st and goal.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
He'll drop to throw. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. 2nd down following the incompletion. lose yardage here. And Charles...